Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Tonight, we will be playing a one-shot written by Sean Little, and he will also be running the game for us. It's set in 1965 in Yosemite National Park. So, without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Sean?
Hi, everyone. Could you each introduce yourself, just your name and what your job is, and I'll go from there.
Okay. I'm Henry Hodges. I am a wildlife biologist.
Name's Ranger Carl Boschek. And, well, I guess I already said it there, but I'm a park ranger.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Ranger Dewey Dunn. I'm originally from Nova Scotia, and I'm the junior ranger here at Yosemite National Park. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sheldon Robertson. I'm a biologist here in Yosemite, and I was looking at bears until I was rudely called off to some other thing.
All right.
The
Thank you.
bears.
Okay. So, Mr. Hodges and Dr. Robertson, you are, as mentioned, off in the southern part of Yosemite. It's the summer. It hasn't really got super busy yet, so it's a perfect time for you to go off and do some wildlife surveys. You're checking out some information on the bear population and some other miscellaneous things, just general jobs you're given at this time of year. And you do get notification that the rangers near White Wolf Lodge, they've asked for you to come and be present because there are some reports of some strange sightings of animals, things that didn't quite jive with the rangers, and they thought, we got a couple of biologists doing some work here. I mean, I might as well have them come up, and your bosses gave you permission to do that. Ranger Carl, Ranger Dewey, you were doing your regular patrols, your usual stuff, getting ready for the busy summer season. A lot of hikers coming in. There's always people doing fishing this time of the year. Just the lodges aren't full, but there's enough people that, you got your hands full here and there. It's just about the weekend. You're just about to be taking off after a couple of weeks straight constant work, a little bit of break here and there. And these reports come in. And it's just the guy at the lodge, the fellow who's running it, he says, could you guys just come and wait? We got a couple of biologists who are doing some surveys coming in. And they say, look, if we all get together, we give you the information, but really, people are seeing creatures that don't make any sense. These reports, normally we just ignore them because you get a couple drunk fishermen saying, we saw a fish this big, and they expect it to be crazy, or you get some guy having a tall tale about the grizzly the size of a house. That's reasonable stuff. But when you got people talking about black mountain lions, like jungle cats, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So they've called you in, you're sitting there waiting, and as you're waiting, a little Jeep type vehicle pulls up, and the two biologists hop out. They see you, you're waiting for them. Talk it through, guys.
Ranger Boschek, Ranger Dunn, how you guys doing?
How you doing there, Mr. Hodges?
You called us?
Hey. Yeah. We had some. We had some issue with the folks that have been seeing some funky looking animals out in the park.
Funky
Again,
how?
Something really strange. Obviously you're calling us, but
Yeah.
Like black mountain lions.
We've even heard people.
Black mountain lions, that's really strange.
Black mountain lions. We've even heard snakes as big as boats,
No, come on. You guys are pulling our legs.
Jaguars and monkeys. We're hearing it all out here.
Not this far north.
There's no monkeys in North America.
That we know of.
Well, unless you're counting Sasquatch, but
Hey.
nobody's been able to find Sasquatch.
Let's knock on wood that we haven't ran into that fella out here, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I can't believe that. All right, the Black Mountain. You say a Black Mountain lion.
Yeah, that was the latest sighting.
Well, that's kind of unusual, unless maybe it was just the trick of the light. Maybe the light was hitting it wrong then.
Yeah.
So it turned a lion black.
Well, shadow or something made it look darker than
It's
it
a
really
big shadow.
We got
Resistant spray paint.
El Capitan and Half Dome that cast a big shadow. So where was this? What do you want us to do?
Would we have knowledge of like where the most recent sightings and all that stuff were?
No, you were just called and asked very recently. You've given very brief information over the radio. The lodge manager, Alphonse, he's in the lodge. He's waiting for you guys to come in. He's got some coffee ready and some sandwiches, and he's ready to talk it through with you.
Oh, Alphonse. Alphonse wants to talk to us, huh? All right, let's find what this says. Probably some hysterical pregnant woman thinking that she sees something. And...
Hey, Carl, do you think he's going to have some bear claws in there?
You know, it's a pretty good one there, Dewey.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been Rangers for what? 10 years?
Oh, it seems like I've been doing this my whole life.
I mean, you guys know what's out here. We all know what animals are out here. We're not gonna.
Yeah, Eagle Scouts.
Unless it's some sort of an odd mutation that we haven't seen. I mean, we did see that albino pika like a few months ago. That was weird, but not that weird.
Yep.
All right, let's go talk to Alphonse and see if he's got any bear claws. I'm a bit peckish.
All right, what time of day is it, by the way?
It's morning.
It's morning.
You biologist, you just woke up. You were just starting your day, so the radio essentially said, "Hey guys, wake up if you're not already up," and then gave you the details to head on down to the lodge.
All right,
have some breakfast. Cute.
Yeah, coffee sounded pretty good right now.
Yeah,
he makes some of the finest coffee this side of the Rio Grande. That guy.
Which side is this? The west side of the Rio Grande, no?
North side.
Joke in the Ranger. We call this the dry side.
We're on the north side.
I'm too far north to even know where the Rio Grande is. I know where it is approximately. The west.
It's between the United States and Mexico.
10 years north of that.
6 hours south of here.
I know where Yosemite is. So Alphonse waves you in and says, "Hey guys, come on in." You've all met him. The biologist, you met him when you first came through the area. It's where you stayed at the lodge about a week or so, or a couple of weeks ago, for a night or two. And Rangers, of course, you know Alphonse. Old guy, been there for 30 years. Waves you in. He's got a kitchen all set up. There's coffee. There's sandwiches. There's bit of
claws.
The usual stuff. He said, "Hey guys, come on in. I got some tall tales for you. Might as well settle in."
Yeah, good.
Right.
I grabbed some coffee and some sandwiches and some fruit and a bear claw.
He's just got the usual stuff he'd have laid out for the guests. So he's got out for you.
There's about a.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'd say there's probably about a 50-50 chance that you're going to tell us that they've been seeing weird stuff over at Hetch Hetchy. Again, there's lots of weird stuff over there.
Well, this is a different one. This is all over the last week. The first guy, he's like, we still got some of the people still here. Some of the people, others have left. I mean, they came and gone. But good for you. There's a fella named John Barry, business guy from New York City. He's here. There's two sisters, Mary and Kate Jones. They're still here. And there's a fella named Artie Dawes, and he was out with the fishing guide Mac. I mean, up on the river not too long ago. These are the only guests who are still here. But I mean, I did talk to some other people. They've been seeing like complaining about bugs that are weird bugs, like big giant spiders and stuff. And I mean, we're not talking monster movie spiders like you see at the drive-in, but we're talking like those tarantula things. This is what they're saying. I mean, doesn't really make sense around here. But look, they're all out there in the dining hall. I asked them to be here this morning and if they could all talk to you. And if you could just, ask some questions of them, get your information, maybe make them feel better because they don't want to leave the lodge right now. Now that they've all been talking over last night. now that they've all mentioned what they saw to each other.
Oh, they're actually scared?
Oh, well, they weren't at first because, one guy says he saw monkeys. Doesn't make any sense he saw monkeys. I mean, they're probably
Squirrels.
Squirrels, big ass squirrels or flying squirrels or something. He says he saw monkeys. Well, that didn't mean anything to him. It's no big deal. Other fella, he says he saw something else, like this big black cat. And
No, we'll see what they have to say.
yeah, okay.
The next door neighbors that I used to have as a kid used to call my dad over because there was a giant spider in their house, and it would turn out to be about that big because they were afraid of spiders. So we'll see how big these spiders are. City dwellers coming to live out in the country for a week. You remember, Dunn, there was that woman who called you on the phone and wanted to know if we had bears, had live bears out here.
Oh yeah, the bears? Yeah. I remember that call. She was really shocked when I told her, yeah, there's bears.
She wanted to know if they were loose.
Yeah. Yep. The bears are loose here in Yosemite.
We'll just fence off the whole park, and then they won't be loose.
We should fence off the tourist areas. Just keep them where they are.
Keep them up, yeah. Sometimes I said that to Ranger Carl. I was like, sometimes I think the tourists do more damage to the park than the wildlife.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you there, Don. Man, they get out here and they throw all the garbage everywhere. Next thing you know, the bears are coming all in and poking around and looking for their food. I don't even think they know how to find regular food anymore. And I say, Go on, bears. Go on. Go find your food somewhere in nature.
You're trying to steal the picnic baskets, huh?
Let's go.
Okay, let's go talk to some. Let's talk to some of these guests.
All right. Well, Alphonse takes you in. He says, "Oh, please, these are the rangers as you saw them arrive earlier, and these are the two biologists, Mr. Hodges, Dr. Robertson, and we know Dewey and Carl already. So look, please, one by one, would you all just take your time and explain to them what you saw?" And he says, "This is John Barry." Introduces you to John Barry.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Very, very nice to meet you. Yes, very good. Thank you.
Mr. Dawes, Jones Sisters.
Yep. And there's Mr. Dawes, who's like a rough and tumble kind of. He's got money, but he looks like he might have worked his way up the ladder because he's kind of a rough and tumble guy. But he's got all the best clothing and gear on. He's the fishing guy. And the sisters, Mary and Kate Jones, are twins, and they're in their late 40s. And they're sitting together in dresses that don't quite match what you'd wear to Yosemite, but what the heck, they're having a good time, it seems. They're giggling, but they look a little bit put off. So Mr. Barry says, "Oh, gentlemen, if you have time, I really do need to get back to New York. I have a car coming to pick me up in an hour or two. I'm very, very concerned about what I saw in the woods earlier this week."
I pull out like a little notepad to draw what he describes.
Sure, of course. He says, I was north of here. I was walking on a hiking trail, a well-marked trail. I was not off into the wilderness. I'm not about to do that. I didn't have and I was just taking some photographs. And he's got a small little camera, of course, portable camera with a folding leather case. And so I was off taking some photographs, and out of the trees came this brown and blackish brown thing, just swung down to the trees and batted my hat off my head. And I immediately thought, it couldn't be a bear. It's not a bird. And I jumped to the side and I looked around and my hat was lying on the ground. I reached down, I put my hat back on my head, looked around, saw nothing. And I could hear this hooting and howling. And he starts imitating some strange howling animal noise. And I just went quiet and waited, nothing more. I walked a bit farther. Out of the tree, my hat gets knocked off my head again. And again, I saw a flash from the other direction. This was black and brown again, the same creature, and he holds his hand up to his waist, like a little waist high. And then I can hear hooting on both sides of the trees, up in the foliage. Couldn't see a damn thing. So I picked my hat up and I continued on down the pathway. And you won't believe what happened next.
Yeah, I'm going to step in here and say maybe you got knocked off a third time.
A third time.
Oh, there we go.
Off goes my hat. And this time, I saw the movement. I raised my arm up and I caught a handful, and he shows you in his hand, wrapped up in a little paper, not a paper, sorry, a hanky. There's a handful of brown fur. Fur about that long? Yes, take it. You're the scientist here. I'm just.
I sort of set it between Sheldon and I.
Yeah, what does it look like?
Yeah, color.
Is it all just monochrome brown?
No. Oddly enough, it's brown, but as you get closer to the base, it's darker in color.
Okay.
Well, it definitely doesn't feel like bear.
No,
Could you run some tests on that, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
But certainly,
If you guys want to make a natural history roll, I can tell you what you know it isn't.
Well, it's not skunk.
Now, when you say natural history, is that also natural world?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh.
Okay, great. We'll do some rolls on that then. Yeah.
Sorry.
What does a normal success get me on that one?
I got a hard.
I got a 2.
I too got a hard success.
Between all of you, you all can recognize. Well, it's not bear. It's not wolf. It's not fox. You actually don't know what it is. It's not squirrel.
Not squirrel.
It's
Is
not.
it a
No, it's 'cause
toupee?
squirrel hairs. Pardon me?
Is it a toupee?
It could be. It could be a paintbrush.
We'll have to look
Could
at
be
the
beaver.
microscope to determine better what it is.
Yeah.
But
That
It's
ain't
not
bear.
hippopotamus.
that's not squirrel.
Mm.
Did you get any kind of look at the thing?
I did not see a tail. I swear it was a tiny little man in a suit. But it didn't make any sense.
A man in a suit.
Like just tiny little man. Like holds his hand up to his waist again. Like like someone from a circus or something. Because the way he went through those trees, and he was just gone. And then they were hooting and hollering, and then
What?
I'm going to stop you right there. You're telling me you assaulted a midget?
skinny little one.
What part of his body do you think you pulled his hair from?
I got his hair from his ass. Pardon
But
my
he was
language.
wearing a suit.
A fur suit.
I'm gonna
Oh,
look
right.
over,
Okay.
I'm gonna look over at Alphonse like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, Alphonse has got his arms crossed and goes,
Ladies, what do you have to tell us?
oh, and they're like tittering away because the man, he said ass. So they say, well, we'll tell you. We were also hiking north, but we were with a wonderful young man named Clem who had taken some time out from some other job he had. And this is earlier this week. And Clem was walking us to the north, and, well, he took a shine to Maria, or so it seemed. And we tipped him well. And he brought wonderful little sandwiches that Alphonse made. And we got north, and we were wandering. We wanted to see the river. We didn't get that far because I swear he kept jumping and stomping on things. And we're like, what are you doing? And he kept saying, nothing, ladies, nothing. And we saw it. He stomped on a spider. And this spider was, its bottom end was like that. And he stomped on it, kicked it off into the bush, so he didn't want us to be frightened by it, he said. But that wasn't the end of it. So he stomped on one of these little spiders. And this is a little ways north, quite a ways north. And we thought, well, that doesn't, we haven't seen anything. In our guidebook, it didn't say anything about those spiders here. They're out in the desert, I think. But anyway, so we went a little farther, and then Alphonse stopped dead. And he raised that that little rifle that he kept with him. It's a little 22. And he raised this little rifle that he kept with him. He said he was going to get some squirrels with. And we could hear a growling, something in the woods. And we thought, oh, the bear. And he said, no, it's not a bear. It's not a bear. And he made us stand behind him. And he just shot blind into the bushes. And then he ran into the bushes after shooting. And he came back out, and his face was white. He was terrified. And we came back to the cabin. We don't know what he saw, but he told us it wasn't safe. And he said we had to get back. And then when we got back, he said it was a mountain lion, but it was not a mountain lion. It was some kind of black, strange mountain lion. That's all he said. Black mountain lion.
Would me and Carl know Clem?
Yes. In fact, you do.
Okay.
I gave you guys some information earlier that you two had been given.
Yeah, do we?
Remember your email? And Clem is one of the two persons I mentioned in that email.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah.
Now, lady,
oh, Clem.
Lady, when you were walking up the trail there, you say you didn't quite make it to the river.
No.
Did you make it to the? Where'd you leave out of? Did you leave out of May Lake High Sierra Camp, or were you down at the Sunrise High Sierra Camp? Where'd you leave out of before you were heading up that way?
Well, we were north of the lodge, just beside the reservoir. We were at the point where the reservoir becomes the river. That's that we know that much from the map we were given.
Okay.
Oh, you were way on up there.
Yes,
You
he
guys
drove
weren't
us up a
really on the
roadway.
trail at all.
Yeah, we drove up ways in his little car. We drove up, got out, went on a hike because we wanted to see the river, but we didn't quite make it to the river, and then we turned back.
Really up there in no man's land. Really took your lives in your own hands. A couple of adventurers you are.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we came here. We're very excited. We like nature.
We do usually ask that you stay on the trails for your own safety. Yeah, it's just.
Well, I
Clem
think I don't love the idea of Clem just firing a gun in the middle of the. He didn't know what he was shooting at.
Not very safe.
No.
You should always make sure you can see what you're shooting at, because it could be a camper.
Yeah. We got a lot of Eagle Scouts out there,
Now,
Definitely.
if you saw tarantulas, that's not that unusual. There is a California tarantula. They actually even have a tarantula festival in Coarse Gold, which is just down the mountain. But they are usually out in mid-October. You see them a lot. This time of year, it's usually too hot. You don't see them out and about. That might be what he saw. The big black cat that you saw, that I don't know what that is. We do have mountain
they didn't see it. They didn't see it.
Well, he's
only Clem said he saw it.
The thing is, coming face to face accidentally with a mountain lion can scare you pretty bad. And Mr. Dawes, was it? And what's your story?
Oh, glad you got around to me. It's kind of getting late to go out again fishing, but we'll make the best of it.
By the way, Mr. Barry, if you'd like to leave to get back to New York, I don't see any reason to detain you. Do you guys?
No.
All right.
Have a safe journey.
Thank you very much. I will be back. Hopefully you'll deal with this, whatever issue this is, these people in the suits or whatever it is. But yes. And he says, by the way, and he shows you his hat. It actually has marks in it. Claw, like little scratch marks. Like you can see that something is torn off part of the ribbon as well. So.
Okay, could we have your hat?
No. I'm sorry.
Well, it's really of no use.
Let me take a closer look at that, and then you can be on your way.
Okay. He allows you to look at it. Feel free to make a natural world roll if you want.
That's a fail. Are the scratches like 4 parallel or?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not a squirrel. I mean, that's easy enough to tell. Not squirrel, and it's not a raccoon because raccoons can't. They bumble, they don't swing. So that's all you can really get that much out of it. So yes, he heads off. Mr. Well, thank you, gentlemen. So you get to Artie Dawes. He's big, tall, lanky guy. He's, like I said, he's kind of a rough and tumble looking guy who's come to some money, and he's all the best gear, and he's very polite, very friendly, but very direct. He says, well, Mac, he's out getting the boat ready, apparently. He's coming back to get me. We were out on the river, and really just we're going up and over, taking a look at the scenery, the cliff walls, and the beautiful scenery. And he was heading to a place. He just knew a secret place we could do some fishing, and it was just a regular day. And we pulled up to an area where there was some, little cove with some lily pads. The river wasn't quite running so hard, and we thought we'd try to still fish for a while. And we're casting out to the lily pads, and I'm telling you, there's no fish, nothing, no fish whatsoever. And this didn't make any sense. It was the right time of day. It was the right weather. So we moved on to another little cove up another couple 100 feet up the way. Lots of fish. We fished for a good hour and a half. But then we saw, let's go find a place and have some lunch. Go to an area he knew that was a little deeper. We could try for something a little different. And as we started up the engine, something hit the bottom of the boat. Now, we weren't moving. We were still anchored. He was starting up the engine. I was lifting the anchor. Hadn't even got it off the bottom. And something went bump. And the boat rocked. We thought, well, that's kind of strange. I mean, big fish, awfully big fish. A minute or two later, we got the engine started, and the engine was having a little bit of trouble. He says, shoot, I got to fill it up with gas. So he stops again, and we fill it up with gas, and I just decided to fish a little bit while he's doing that, and then bump, bottom of the boat gets hit again. And this time, I nearly went over the side because I was standing up. And I grabbed the side, and I steadied myself, and I looked down into the water. And I'm telling you, I saw something. It went past the bottom of the boat, and it was this big around. And it wasn't a fish because it just kept going and going and going. And eventually it slimmed out, and with a flick, it was gone. And I'm telling you, it looked like a big old copperhead, but way too big.
Yeah, I would agree with you on the way too big there.
Yeah. Seen a lot of snakes where I come from, but I'm telling you, it wasn't a fish. If it was a fish, it doesn't belong in this water. It belongs in the ocean.
What color was it?
Well, the water's pretty dark there. Greenish, had some diamondy patterns on it. It was hard to really tell in this water, but it was definitely, we're in a murky area. We had started up the engine, so we'd stirred up the sediment a bit. It was pretty big.
Well, gentlemen, do you have any more questions for these people, or shall we let them go? And we'll look into it.
Just could you confirm again whereabouts you were fishing, just on the map there? And I pull out the map.
Absolutely. He pulls out a map and he shows you, where the reservoir actually narrows down to become the river. North of the lodge.
Nailed it.
He's a little farther down between the two incoming tributaries there, where it actually says the name of the river.
Tulun.
Yeah. Pretty much towards the middle of that, like right between those two tributaries.
Okay. So we got a few. We got to go talk to Clem. We got a few spots we can go check out.
Yeah, we'll discuss it after you guys leave. I don't see any reason to keep you detained any longer. If you
Thanks for the information, folks.
All right, thank you very much.
And thank you all for
take care.
State park or your national parks here.
As Artie's leaving, Artie says, "Gentlemen, I'd be very interested in hearing about more of this later. So whatever you find out, I'm coming back in about a couple months or so, maybe a month. Definitely like to hear about this if you don't mind." He gives you his contact information.
Well, check in the visitor center, because if you find something interesting, we'll definitely post stuff on the bulletin board in the visitor center.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. So he's off as well.
So, who looked at the hat? Was it Dewey?
No, it's Sheldon.
Sheldon. When you looked at the scratches in the hat, was it 4 scratches or 5 scratches? Because a cat or a dog will make 4 scratches.
It was
if it's a
it was a little
primate.
tough to tell, but I thought I saw some 4 scratches there.
Because when he said a little man in a suit, all I could think of was like a monkey grinder's monkey.
I had to stifle a smirk, honestly.
Yeah, I wrote down looking for an Italian midget.
Yeah. I don't think they really like to be called that anymore. But, yeah.
Well, when we find them, we'll ask.
I'm just wondering if, we get some strange people coming up here to camp. And if a monkey grinder brought his monkey, if some rich guy brought his pet black panther from Africa, I don't think that we have copperheads here. I don't know why he said that. Well, he's from back east, so he probably thought that it would be a diamondback, if anything, diamondback rattlesnake, or a large.
But not that big.
Yeah, not that
They don't
big.
swim much, though, do they?
Well, any snake.
Herpetology is not my specialty.
Any snake will swim if it has to, but what he was sounding like was like an anaconda or a boa, which we don't have in this part of the country. However, once again, are there any circuses that have?
Yeah, that would explain
Circuses?
wouldn't it?
Nothing you know of. Definitely no circuses that you know of right now. Up in Reno, places like that, they get that kind of stuff in the fall, but not right now.
Well, and the tarantulas, that's not unusual. People don't realize that there are tarantulas just about everywhere. He might have stumbled on a nest of them or something and just freaked out.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys want to do? You want to go talk to Clem, or do you want to head up or look at some of these locations where the sightings have been?
Well, I got nothing to do today, so why not? Let's amuse ourselves. But boy, did I nail it with the hetchy. There is some weird stuff that comes out. People get up there and they see the weirdest damn stuff.
I just don't understand why they can't stay on the trails like they're supposed to. I understand this desire for adventure and whatnot. But come on. You're really taking it into your own hands there. And out here, you never know what you're going to stumble across. We even had this one fella from Boston. He says, I saw a dragon. A dragon. Come on. Come on. I said, you might be a little mad there, fella. You might be a little mad. But
stay off the slosh there, huh?
Exactly. Stay off the juice.
He could have seen that's what it was.
Carl, wasn't Clem was meant to be back a couple of days ago, wasn't he, from that thing, and he hadn't turned up.
I think he had something to do with that the picture guy there. What's his name? Adam.
Ansel Adam?
Yeah.
Ansel Adam. There you go.
That's the guy.
Now, John Barry, were they the ones talking about? It sounded like they were talking about like Pine Ridge Trail going up towards Tulum, towards the river. You think he said they stayed pretty much on the trail, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he said they stayed on the trail. Yeah.
Well, let's find Clem, and then let's head up the trail. We can get up there in an hour or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right.
If you guys are going to find out Clem is, that Clem and what's his brother? I give you guys.
It's actually, I think it might be his sister there, Mary.
Oh, Marv, M-A-R-V, Marv. Sorry, Clem and Marv Oberon. They are private guides However, Alphonse, when someone is looking for a guide, Alphonse will point them in a number of different guides. Will go operate through him, so Alphonse will probably know. That's what you think.
All right. Alphonse, thanks for the sandwiches.
Hey, no problem, guys.
Yeah,
Delicious
great
as always.
pour. Yeah.
Do you know where Clem is?
He looks at the ranger fellas, Carl and Dewey, and he says, well, looks around. He says, well, Mr. Adams is here doing photography this week, and Clem and Otis, or Clem and Marp, they're taking him up as guides up north, the valley along the river, and they didn't really register with you guys. I'm sorry, but they took him up a few days ago.
Okay.
Up towards the reservoir, up that way. They headed up. They were going to break some trail. There's some places he wanted to take some photos that he'd never been before, so they headed out like a few days back. They're actually, honestly, a day or two late.
Oh crap!
But you know, that's really not too terrible, though. You know, extra day out. You usually pack for an extra day or two anyway when you go. So
well, they took food and gear with them like they always do.
Hey.
Hence, but they didn't. They said they'd come back here on their way, Mr. Adams.
And look, if we know anything about Clem and Mob, you know, it's sometimes. So,
yeah,
you know.
Do we know pretty much the direction they went in? Maybe we should just go that way. I don't think we're going to see any black mountain lions or giant spiders or monkey crider.
Well, I mean, maybe while we're on that way up, we maybe can stop in some of these locations that these fine folks have mentioned, and just give them a quick survey and see if we can see anything, pick up any stuff. Yeah.
I'll bring a jar for any spiders we find.
Okay.
Figuring and reckonings, anything as it used to be back in the day, I'd say they probably ran northwest, right up to where the mountains really overlook, and you can see some of the more derelict buildings of the past. Make for some really good photos for Mr. Adams.
Well, you guys lead the way. We'll follow.
Well,
okay.
Let's take them northwest. Stay to the left of all the mighty oaks and pines out there.
Yeah.
Straight on up and watch out for any monkeys, dragons, jaguars, or
anything
else that they might come through. Huh?
Okay.
Of course.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right.
And then Dewey gets real serious and he looks at you both and he goes, "Now listen, there's some dangerous stuff out here. Okay, you gotta stay close, and you gotta keep your eyes peeled. All right. Now the most dangerous thing you gotta look for. The most dangerous thing you gotta look for is the Eagle Scouts. Those things are a menace to this park." Okay, let's go.
Sometimes get a little tired of your constant humor. But we all know about the Eagle Scouts.
And the Girl Scouts, the brownies. Don't even get me started on the brownies.
They don't let the brownies do much camping.
Yeah, for good reason.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, I'm assuming me and Carl have got a big truck thing as well.
You have a Jeep kind of truck thing that you poke around. It's four-wheeled. Well, it's a heavy-duty type vehicle. You can get down the trails. It's not so wide that you can't fit. It's loaded with the basics. You'll need to throw in some food and some water and tent, fire, just the basic stuff in case you get stuck overnight, because that does happen, as you know. So,
well, we can probably swing by our cabin and the biologist cabin as well, so they can get a few bits and pieces. But because you guys have got your Jeep as well, did you guys just want to follow us, or
why don't we all go together?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there enough room?
Save a couple cents on gas.
Heck yeah, there's plenty of room in here. Grab your packs, boys. Let's go.
Well, and ours isn't really built for the kind of terrain that yours is built for. So
Yeah. Okay. So we'll swing by the cabin and put some provisions and our stuff in there, and then we'll go pick up some of the stuff for the biologists. Because I'm assuming you didn't bring all your scientific equipment stuff with you. So
no.
We'll go get that.
Where actually are Sheldon and I centered? Where do we stay?
You guys started out actually at this lodge. So the stuff you weren't taking with you on your trail is still here in one of the outbuildings. They just gave you a storage building.
Oh, cool.
So the only thing you don't have with you right now is your bear cage and your bear specific survey equipment. So you've got pretty much what you need, other than things you need to get for the trip, like just food and stuff. You've got with you.
Well, maybe give me 15 minutes. I'd like to take a look at the stuff under the microscope. This hair.
Okay. Well, why don't you guys do that when me and Carl we'll go grab our stuff out of our cabin.
Get some food and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Sheldon, you want to come with me? We can do that.
Yeah, let's go do this.
You're usually better at identifying this stuff than I am. So that's what we'll do. We'll go back to wherever our equipment is and pull out a microscope and take a look.
Well, looking at it, I'll just fast forward a little bit here because it's a one shot, one night. Looking at it under the microscope, it's hair. It's difficult for you to identify. It's easy, like I said before, for you to see what it's not. It's not something that you recognize immediately. If you want to do a natural world roll again, I could probably, or a biology roll, whichever you've got better in something.
Yeah, how about a biology to see if I can even tell if it's like primate hair.
Yep.
Zoology, actually, I have two. I got a 51 out of 70.
Nice.
So it's just a regular pass.
I'm liking these 80.
Okay.
So I have.
Well, what I can say is, look, between the two of you looking at it, it definitely is it's a fur from a warmer climate animal. You can assume that based on the texture of the fur, the thickness of the fur, because when he didn't grab any down, any winter coat fur. So it's just straight fur, and it's a thin fur, and just your best guess is this is a warm animal climate. This is a warm climate animal, and potentially primate. Not entirely sure.
Yeah, this is something from a warmer region, a tropical region, maybe. Wow. I'm thinking escaped animals, don't you think?
It seems to be screaming that. I couldn't see anything naturally finding its way up here.
I wonder if there are any state troopers that come up here, because we could ask them if there's like any sideshows, zoos on the road. You know, this part of California, actually, once you get towards the coast, is pretty barren. People set up little tourist traps. Maybe some animals got loose and found their way up here.
That would make sense.
Or somebody went camping with their gigantic boa.
I mean, you hear about the alligators in the sewers of New York. Maybe someone brought their pet out here.
Yeah, I think our water's way too cold for an alligator. That's all snow melt up there. So,
what if it's an alligator with a tropical fur coat?
I'm not dead sure that Alphonse isn't playing some practical joke on us.
Well, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did swap out my my coffee for decaf when I got here.
Well, the girls were giggling a little bit too much. I was wondering.
Yeah. Come to think of it, yeah. I didn't give much thought to that, but you might be onto something there.
I was ready to believe that there was a monkey in that tree until he said that it had a little suit on.
Yeah. Well, let's humor the Rangers.
All right.
Yeah. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
All right.
Rucksack.
Yeah, bring the usual stuff. Flashlight, things like that.
Okay.
Water.
Pack your stuff.
Water purification tablets.
Cigar box.
Handcuffs. Okay. So, all right. So you got your stuff packed. The one thing, well, we'll make one of you decide. Mr. Hodges, could you make an idea roll?
I got a 76, which is not. It's a failure by 6 points. Can I spend some luck?
Sure.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I spent 6 luck.
As you're leaving, you see this case by the wall, and you go,
"Oh,
that might be a good idea to bring the tranquilizer gun."
Yeah, let's bring that.
Yeah. In case we find any large snakes
or primates,
small monkey men.
These are all geared for animals about the size of a mountain lion or a small bear. So nothing. Yeah. If we could see a small monkey, we don't. Well, this would kill it, so we don't want to do that. But
you can you know that you can actually you can calculate how much of the fluid remove from the darts. So you can actually downgrade the dosage.
All right, cool.
It's 5 milligrams per 10 kilograms. Is that how we're going with this stuff?
Well, what else would it be?
Eyeball it.
Of course.
All right. So we've got that as well.
Okay, so you load up. You get Rangers are waiting outside, pacing, getting ready to leave. They want to get on the road. Looking at the map that you were given, you can see just from the map that it looks like if you head straight north from White Wolf Lodge, you will hit you'll eventually, there's a little bit of a roadway. It's sort of a forest road. It's not an actual official roadway that goes straight north to the reservoir area, to the mouth of the reservoir. And that's where the ladies saw what they saw. You know, the snake or whatever it was is a little farther to the east.
Yeah.
And Mr. Barry was somewhere on the way to what the ladies saw. So it's all generally in the same pathway. It's easy enough for you to follow. And the one thing you do know is Alphonse hands you as you're leaving a bit of a rough map that shows you the path that Clem and Marv were following.
Okay.
They were taking the same roadway that these people were taking, except when they were going to cross the reservoir and go to the other side of the reservoir, the hills on the other side, so up into the west a bit. So same general area.
Okay.
So you can sort of kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, by taking a look for Mr. Adams as well as investigating these.
All right.
Well, I'm assuming, Carl, you're driving.
Yeah, we won't be able to go all the way. Obviously, we can't cross the river in the Jeep, so we'll have to find a camp.
Oh, there may be a part of the river we can cross in the Jeep.
No, you can't cross the river with your car.
Okay, yeah, I knew that.
So as we're driving out, I'll mention. So I've got 3 cans of bear spray. Should I have brought more than?
Nah, they're more afraid of us than.
Well,
just don't put it next to the 3 cans of beer I got back there. I don't want to get them mixed up.
I'll bring a walking stick. You know, that's a good idea, so that you can whack the bear if it tries to get you.
You know, I've never used a walking stick. Maybe I'll see if I can find one.
There's lots of them out there. Just find a stick. All right. What'd you get for food?
Get some trail mix here. Some nuts and berries, and some good protein, guys. We got some jerky here. It's beautiful jerky.
Cool.
Got some cans of beans and stuff like that. Spaghetti.
I say under my breath to Henry, a little poutine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got poutine. Oh yeah,
some pemmican.
I never go anywhere without poutine. And I made you guys some red velvet cake as well. Got that in the back there.
All right, let's go.
All right. So it's a little bit hard driving because, like I mentioned, it's a forced road. It's not a proper trail road. Bumpity bump, you're banging around. You get used to it after a while, and there reaches a point midway up where, of course, there's a gate. Where the Rangers have at some point said, we can't have people continuing to drive up this. This was originally like a little bit of a maintenance road of some sort. So they put like a gate on some rocks and said, no further traffic. And there's some unofficial parking spots. And you do see a vehicle, and Ranger Carl and Dewey do recognize this as Clem's vehicle.
Hey, stop over here, Carl. Yeah, there's Clem's car. Let's go do some investigating. Okay.
See if you left the hiking map there, because that's what you do.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, let's go have an investigate. So we obviously get out and go check out the car.
Now, did we open up that gate there to drive on up, or?
No, we probably have to.
You're
park
muted,
here.
Sean.
This is the gate at the end of the roadway. Sorry, you've actually already driven up the road half. Like, this is the point where you can't drive any farther. This forest road. There's unofficial parking spots. Clem's car is there. It's 3 of the 4 doors are locked. 1 door is unlocked by chance, and happens to be one of the doors at the back. Mr. Adams didn't lock his door,
and we're not gonna drive any farther.
No.
Oh, sorry, folks. Road's closed.
That's cool.
And you'll have to haul what you're taking from this point forward. You'll in Clem's car, you can see that it's just a messy kind of car. He doesn't really keep good care of it. You do not see any paperwork on the dash or any information. In fact, the glove box it's pretty empty. Or glove.
Darn it.
I'm surprised those two have even been able to survive this long.
Is his insurance current?
Hey, Carl, why don't you pop the trunk there?
I don't know if they got a button in this thing. Is there a lever or a button?
Probably need a key.
I'm thinking that I might need a key there, Don.
You can check under the hood, see if there's any marmots.
Oh, I'll check.
Can I pull down the what do they call it?
Visor.
The visor.
Yeah, the visor to see if the keys drop out.
Yeah, a key drops down. Yes.
Oh yeah, just like in the movies.
Yeah. In the trunk, you'll see there's some warmer clothing. So obviously, someone shed some of their clothes and decided they weren't going to wear whatever they brought. Like, there's a big heavy coat, just boxes, and you do find actually an envelope, and in the envelope is a letter from Mr. Adams to these two. Let's write to Clem. It says, "Thank you for assisting me coming up. Definitely, I need to be out for a couple of days. I want to just go out each day and come back to the lodge each night if possible. And I would like to move to," and he lists some little map. He has some dots on the map along the reservoir where we'd like to take some photos across the reservoir, but from the far side to the south.
Okay, so we've got a good idea of where he could be.
Yeah, he wants to have the sun behind him while he's taking photos of across the reservoir.
Oh, Carl, here you go. Like, it looks like we got some information about where they could be over there.
Yeah. He has a good find there, Don. Good on you.
Yeah, before I became a ranger, I thought about being a private eye. It's like in those old 1920s movies, with the pretty ladies coming in the office.
Oh, you'd have been a
like
good
that.
one. You'd have been
All
a
right,
good
thanks, Carl. Thanks, Carl.
So, what do you guys think we go start heading up the trail here?
Yeah, I got my gear.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all packed up here.
Listen, you good? Don, you ready?
Yeah. I just get in, put on my big pack and everything, and then I sort of go. I do this look and go, oh, hey, I almost forgot, and I go back and I go and get my unhook my rifle from the back and make sure I got that. You never know what we might find out there. Got to have some protection. You got your revolver on there, Carl?
No, I was going to grab that. I was going to grab that tranquilizer gun, but I think the scientist there
We got it. We got it.
There you go.
Okay,
They're
cool.
all handled.
You can carry it if you want.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy in the case.
Oh, no problem.
30 pounds.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
And,
So, as I said, Mr. Biologist guys, Henry, Sheldon, keep close. Me and Carl, we know these places pretty well.
You lead the way.
Yeah, if you guys see anything, let us know, and we'll take care of it.
Just for your information, if you hear something that sounds like a man screaming in a woman's pitch, that's actually me whistling for you guys. So, yeah.
Well, let's keep fairly close to one another, but we'll probably go a while.
Stay on the trail, for your
Sean,
own safety.
sort of as a general rule, because I'm thinking about myself when I go hiking, that I'll probably be looking at pretty much everything, the plants, mentally identifying what they are. If I see ants or whatever, just that's kind of a pastime. I'm a naturalist, so
Sure. Makes sense to me.
if I see something weird, which I don't.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm assuming you're heading up the trail in the direction that everybody else headed up, Mr. Barry as well as climbing the rest. So you're heading up the trail, and for the first little while, you're heading in the direction of where the gorge or the valley is, where the Red River and the reservoir exist. After about an hour, you decide you're going to have a stop and get a drink. Could everybody make a listen roll, please?
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled a spot hidden to find a walking stick, and I rolled an extreme success.
You have
I have a
wonderful
walking
walking
Nice
stick.
straight.
It's got a little twist to it, and it's beautiful.
I failed by 6, so if no one else passes, I can spin the luck.
I got an 18.
Okay, cool. I
feel
won't spin
miserable.
luck.
Yeah, I failed to listen as well. I'm too enamored with my amazing walking stick.
Beautiful walking stick.
It's mahogany.
Okay. It's the only mahogany to be found in.
It's quite literally, he's actually found an actual walking stick.
No,
Somebody dropped it. You're looking for a stick, and you found a walking stick.
you could have found manzanita, which is gorgeous.
Found
It's white on one side and red on the other.
ooh.
All twisted. Yeah.
Every time I walk in these woods, it just reminds me that this is not just a great valley, but it's a shrine to human foresight. The strength of the power of glaciers and the persistence of life and the tranquility of the High Sierra. I love Yosemite.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Whoever succeeded with their listen, everyone else is drinking water and going, oh, gee, it's such a hot day. What you hear when you listen is farther up the trail in the direction you're going, howling noises.
Howling like wolf howl?
No, like not a wolf howl.
Deer?
Like-
Great elk?
No, nothing. Very similar. It's like
Like a howler monkey.
Could
You-
be the
you can
North
make that
American
dis-
hat snatcher.
I've
By
been to the
guessing
San
that,
Diego Zoo. I've
you
been
are
there.
correct. It sounds
like
like
a seal.
The zoo.
Huh.
Oh, guys, do you hear that?
Say what?
Listen.
Listen, it's still going.
I've been to the San Diego Zoo. That does sound like a primate.
Can we hear it now?
You do. Anyone who
Okay.
stops to listen now and is quiet does hear it now.
Huh.
It sounds to be.
He's still quite a ways away because those things are damn loud.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
I did a semester when I was an undergrad in Central America. That takes me back. You shouldn't be hearing that up here.
Somebody has accidentally or purposefully released tropical animal. By the way, the hair that we found is not from a native animal. It's definitely from a tropical animal, from a warmer climate. It has no. If those are monkeys, they're not going to survive. Once the winter hits, it'll kill them.
Out of interest, GM, does my rifle have a scope? Because I've just looked it up online, and there's ones with scope and ones without.
I'd say yes.
1965. Okay. Are you checking?
Yeah. What caliber are we talking about?
I have a 36 bolt action. Yeah.
30-06.
Got him a 30-06 there. It's a good one.
Yeah. 30-6s. Civilian 30-6s are almost always scoped.
Okay, so I'm just using the scope to see, kind of look up that way to see if I can see anything better of what might be up there.
Good call.
I'm ducking out of the way.
Everyone ducks. Make a spot hidden roll, I guess, is the best thing. But you need your bonus for this.
Okay. Do I get a bonus, do I?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Secret bonus. Secret GM bonus.
Okay, great, cool. I got a hard pass.
Then you get an even harder pass.
Oh, cool.
As you're looking through the scope, you actually down the path, because it's not like we're not talking jungle territory here. You go down and you do actually see, you're looking for a while, you hear the voices, you're trying to pinpoint where the sound is coming from. You see something jump from one tree to the next. In the distance, it's dark. Brown or black. But it jumps from one tree to the next. And based on your distance, what you're estimating is it's just like the guy said, waist high. Tall, skinny. Looks like a guy in a brown suit, but skinny, like a monkey.
Okay. So there's something up there. I just saw it jump between the trees. I know this is going to sound crazy, but it looks exactly how that guy described it. Little guy in a hairy suit, waist high.
Huh?
Yeah.
Long arms.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like a monkey.
Did it have a tail?
No, couldn't see a tail.
Well, while we're sitting down, I'm going to open up the trank case and start preparing a couple darts for the rough mass.
Right. Well, if it didn't have, you didn't see a tail.
It does have a tail. Sorry, I had to look.
Oh yeah, no. Okay. Oh wait, is that the thing that comes off the back?
Yeah,
Yeah, he had one of those. Sorry, I was thinking
it's not a
else.
chimpanzee. It's actually a.
It's spelled tail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he had one of those things.
Well, that
it looked
makes
like another
sense.
arm. Yeah.
That makes sense. Then it's some sort of a primate. Somebody's released it. Poor animal.
You don't want him to suffer. If he's not going to make it through the winter, then we probably need to see about trying to catch and release him somewhere else, maybe.
Well, we'd have to catch him and send him to the zoo.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled there, guys.
But it's going to be next to impossible to catch him because he's got 1 million acres of places to run.
Free, yeah.
Well, if we
maybe he's tame.
Maybe.
Did anybody bring any fruit?
Yeah, we got fruit.
Or hats. He likes hats.
He does like hats. He seems to have
me and Ranger Carl, we got some pretty good hats, you know.
Well, we'll see what happens. Be careful though; they can be incredibly strong.
If we don't manage to catch him on this outing, then we could probably modify one of our bear cages into kind of a snare and bring it up here.
Yeah. Put some fruit in there. Put some bananas.
Yeah.
He's probably
Some
hungry.
fruit.
He ain't going to find much food up here. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Let's go on. See if you
Carry
tell
on.
me. You saw him. Tell us when we get close to where you saw him.
Okay. Yeah, sure. It wasn't too far out there.
All right. So you hike on, you continue on, and you're heading up the path where you generally saw it. As you approach the area that you estimate based on the distance of you were at. God, everybody stopped there. I thought I froze again. Everybody actually stopped moving. I thought, damn it. Okay.
We synchronized them.
I'll keep doing this so that you can tell that I'm alone.
Okay. Do you ever just do this once? You get to where it is, and you don't see them anymore. You don't hear them. I mean, you do hear like a hoot off in the distance in another direction. You do actually, though. You don't even have to spot hidden right in the middle of the pathway. There's animal scat.
I love animal scat.
Really?
Well, yeah, you can tell a lot of things from this.
Henry, use your gloves, please.
Well, I'll use my tweezers. They're in my medical uniform from the other night. I'll use these giant tweezers that I have here. And, I'll take a look. Does it look like primate poop?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
You basic, like in your classes back in school, it's identification. Yep,
Yeah.
It looks primate. So definitely I think you've in your mind, the biologists at least have identified that there's howler monkeys or something like that here.
It's a monkey.
It's a
Looks like he's been eating insects. That's about all he's going to find.
Not been roughing it with pine cones?
Well, no. No, I don't think he could get to the pine nuts there. That's still summer.
Yeah. Out of season.
Yeah. Poor guy. Oh well, we'll see if we can. Probably we're not going to be able to catch him, but if we can, like you say, put a cage up here.
Yeah.
There could be more than one of them as well, though.
That's what I was saying. You did hear 3 distinct voices.
Yeah. There's more than one out here, guys.
Well then, nobody brings their pet monkeys camping. I think they must have escaped from somewhere.
Yeah.
There's nowhere around here. They've come a long way if they've gotten away from somewhere.
Well, it's the Sierra Nevadas. Maybe, I don't think they could get here from Vegas. They'd have to cross the desert. Something went wrong. Maybe there was a truck transporting them and it got it in there. Somehow they got here.
Truck crash. Any plane crashes recently?
Nothing that you're aware of. You put your minds together as you're walking and try to think of any reasonable solution to why there'd be monkeys here, and other than just the obvious somebody's pet that got loose or somebody lost them from a zoo and that just happened to wander here over the winter, which makes no sense. You can't figure.
Where are we? Which direction are we heading? Just to clarify, are we heading towards the mountain line, or are we heading towards the snake area?
You're heading towards the Black Mountain Lion, to the right of which would be to the east. Right nearby is where the
okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, cool. Sweet.
Okay.
So because I know we're getting near the lion, I'm being a little bit more cautious with the gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be really irritated if they just released animals for like some publicity stunt.
Oh.
That's not all right.
No.
If it was a mountain lion, it would have probably been just as scared of the girl's friend Clem than anybody else, and it would have ran the other way. We'll probably never see it. It'll probably remain a legend for a long time. But Let's look around. Maybe we can once again find some scat or some.
Especially if it heard and recognized the gunshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if we do find something, just remember, I'm pretty slick with the tracking, so we may be able to find out. If we know where it's been, maybe we can find out where it's at.
Well, yeah, definitely look for tracks.
Mhm.
And spiders.
Well, we'll probably see some spiders. If there's a nest around here of tarantulas, that's ebony tarantula.
Well, tarantulas are usually solitary.
That's true, but sometimes they congregate. But like I say, that's usually in October when they have the breeding.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the cars have to stop because the tarantulas are all crossing the road. They're out looking for mates. Biologist says, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Something as magnificent as.
I'm a biologist, not a entomologist.
Well, it's all beautiful nature.
Have you seen a spider face up close? Beautiful isn't the adjective I would use.
Well, that was my first girlfriend. She wrapped me in her web of lies.
Oh, Black Widow, huh?
All right.
No, we got plenty of those here.
So you're walking along, you're talking, but you are. I'm saying, Henry Hodges, you are still doing what you said, watching left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Could you do a spot hidden anyways?
I got a 45. Let's see if that's a pass. Spot hidden. Oh, it's 5 less. Can I use some luck?
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Yes, I just pass.
Okay. Could someone else, one of you, also one of the Rangers, perhaps do a spot hidden as well? All right. Carl.
35 on a 51. So that's a pass.
Nice.
At the same time, Ranger Carl sees footmarks in the path, like a scuffle. Something has taken place. He'd like movement. Like the path is a dirt path, but you've been around for a while. And you look down, you see, look at this. It's like 3 sets of feet moving around pretty quick here. Different directions, and you put on your investigative cap, and you say, well, two of these pairs are smaller than the other. And as you're looking at the footmarks, Mr. Hodges says, well, look over here.
Oh,
and
look over here.
What you see,
we found where the spiders were being stomped right here.
What you find is a lady's pair of gloves.
Apparently, one of them was challenging the spiders to a duel. I pick up the glove.
Well, I think it's safe to say, cool, my accent went weird there. I think it's safe to say that we found the spot that our friends were here at.
Any dead spiders?
Well, now that you're all looking for it, everybody can make a spot hidden.
Okay. I got a pass, just a regular.
Just a regular.
I got a hard pass.
Oof. You're going to have to spend 2 points of luck to make that a pass.
You're
have
muted.
to spend
I got it.
Unmute.
Oh, the big warning screen pops up. You are muted. So yes, there's enough passes, and what you see is Sheldon Robertson finds, like a spider, just like a weird little spider, and another little one. But then Ranger, who got the hard? One of you got a hard.
Carl, yeah.
Ranger Carl gets a hard, and you jump back and you go, what in the ever? And you step back and you grab the walking stick from Sheldon and you push up the brush, and you guys see the most god-awful big spider you've ever seen.
How big?
Damn, boy!
Now,
I
careful,
seen
that's
bigger.
Mahogany. What the heck?
Is it
It's not
alive?
It's not a no, dead. It's not a It's not a tarantula. It's not a bigger. This is like a Goliath tarantula.
You're talking a bird-eating spider.
Yeah,
Big
huge.
South American.
Yep.
But it looks kind of like a big tarantula, right?
Oh, hell, look at that guy, eh?
Jesus
Shit.
Christ.
Yeah.
Now, that is also not native to this area.
That's one hell of a big spider there. Pardon my French.
I'm sorry, is it
Yeah.
dead?
Yes, dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Okay. So I go over and with my tweezers, now it's a pencil,
Chopstick tweezers.
I sort of move it around. I flip it over. There's its fangs. You can see they're quite prodigious. I'd say South American bird-eating spider. We are seeing all these tropical, odd animals in this area. I don't have any reference material, but I'm wondering if they all come from the same part of South America.
Shouldn't it be getting cold enough here at night for causing
It's June.
substantial problems for
It's
all
been
these?
an excessively warm week. You will.
I don't remember either of the ladies saying they had lost a glove.
They were too busy giggling.
Yeah, but I mean it looks like I don't know what you think, Carl, but some like a bit of a scuffle. What didn't they say it was only Clem that was stomping around, not all three of them?
I'm sure both of them were probably trying to get away from this crazy thing and all the little spiders that were running all around. So of course you're going to have scuffle feet all over the place here.
Huh.
But you're right. They didn't say anything about losing their gloves.
Yeah. Can we inspect the glove a bit more to see if there's like does it look like something? Yeah,
Monogram.
yeah, monogram. But also, is it like does it look like it matches their sort of the style they had?
Sure. You don't even have to roll. Sure.
Okay,
Fancy.
cool. So it is. Yeah. Oh well, it's definitely. I mean, Louis Vuitton, eh? Wow.
While they're doing that, I'm sort of looking in the brush to see if I can find any living examples of the spider.
How much time you want to spend?
Well, while they're doing that, so just a few minutes before we get on.
No, nothing right around here.
Curiouser and curiouser. Shall we continue up the rabbit hole?
Yep.
Well, that sounds really bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, maybe don't write that one in your dissertation.
So you continue on. Are you taking the spider with you, or are you bagging it?
No, it's
I
interesting.
ain't carrying that thing.
I don't have anything to carry it in. It's not like you can put it in a baggie.
Okay, I guess it's not like CSI. Okay, so you continue on down the path, and just like the lady said, the same amount of time walking, and you come to an area where there is more scuff marks in the ground because now you're watching for it, and you do see the path turns a bit, and at the end of the path, just as they described in more detail than I described, there's an area of relatively thick underbrush, and the scuffling is around that area. And
well, I got my stick.
Yep.
Let's pause here for a moment and do a little exploring. Be careful, don't get caught in any poison oak or sumac or anything. But let's see if we can see any evidence of big animal, a big
Do you
cat.
have any tracking skills or anything like that?
So my tracking skills aren't very good.
I've got some
Okay.
terrific tracking skills.
Oh, you need some tracking? Okay, we got this. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I don't have tracking
Stand
skills.
aside, folks. There's some real science at work here. We're about to track this down.
Well,
I put my ear to the ground and knock on the floor.
That there's a 37 out of 75. That's a hard pass.
And I got a 25 out of 70, so I also got a hard pass.
There's a couple of hard trackers right there.
Oh, yeah.
Easy enough. You get to the bushes, you push it aside. You're looking through. You're being very careful, of course. You do find, because it hasn't rained, evidence of dry blood on some of the branches and bushes underneath.
Yeah, she's blood. Hey, Doc, we got some blood over here.
Not a lot, but drops of blood.
There's not a lot over here, Doc, but you should definitely come take a look and see.
See if we can find any samples of hair.
yeah.
We see.
I kind of give Kyle a look, and I'm sort of like, geez, we find blood, they want hair.
Yeah.
Next time we find hair, they got to say, they got saliva.
blood is the same color for just about all animals. So,
Have you dissected a horseshoe crab?
the blue blood?
Yeah.
The
That's kind of
cyan.
fun, isn't it?
All right, I'm looking for hair.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure,
26.
make a roll.
26 of whatever.
All right.
Yep.
I'll give it to you.
I'm gonna
There's some
finish
little.
my sandwich and put samples in the sandwich bag.
So we're finding black hair.
Black hair matted with, like, some of the blood stuck to a tree branch. There happens to be a little bit of black hair stuck into the dry blood. Sure.
We got black hair. There's definitely something black. It wasn't just shadows. Is there any place like in the brush that if the cat was laying that it would have crushed down the grass or weeds? Or...
Well, it looks like that's what was happening. It looks like something had been laying in this underbrush, got startled, and then something happened to it. It bled and it took off. So look, you assume that the guy walked in on this cat that was lazing in the sun and he shot it.
Now, don't forget, they said Clem went into the bush and took a shot at something. But
Yeah, you had to
gotta
go in the
wonder.
bush a little bit to get to this point.
Yeah.
Fucking
How
Clem.
big is the space that's been pushed down?
Mountain lion sized, like
Okay, yeah.
a big cat.
It's a decent sized, yeah.
But now if it's black and it's...
What if it's an anemic black bear?
And sooner or later, we're going to find him dead because he's not going to clot up. I know a little bit of science there.
Well, let's look for any kind of animal print in the ground because once again, 4 claw marks it's a cat, 5 it's a bear, and there'll be definite claw marks in the ground from its nails.
Okay, we're back in the tracking
Especially
mode.
if it was startled.
Humor me just for
I
a second
passed on the
here.
tracking.
Humor me just for a second here. If I remember right, when the ladies were talking about Clem and his fit that he had with stomping the spiders and going nutso, he fired
Yeah.
without looking. When he fired, wouldn't you think it's possible that maybe one of those shots just happened to come through and hit the sleeping cat? And
Yeah.
he never even knew it. And that would surprise the heck out of me if I was just taking a nap in the brush and next thing you know, the old 22 shell hits me in the rumpus.
Yeah.
Just the sound alone would have scared a cat.
But the blood
But then Clem walked in to the bush and he saw it because he came back and he said, he saw a black mountain lion.
The
So it got
circumstances
away.
are odd, but yeah, I think if we're talking Black Panther, Jaguar. Once again, South America, it makes some sense.
Yeah, that would I'd stick with the theme.
I think that immature jaguars are almost black, and that they get their speckles as they mature. All right. Well, we got our next big mystery is to find out who's been releasing wild animals into our area.
All right, well, let's go see if we can find this giant snake.
Let's hope that's not an anaconda.
I'll tell you, I don't want none of that. No anaconda.
Yeah.
Well,
my anaconda don't.
That seems the most unlikely one, though, now that I think about it, because a tropical snake could not survive in that Tulum River. That Tulum River is ice water.
Yeah.
But that's not the only person that said anything, I heard tale of a drunken Bostonian fella that came out here and said that he had seen a dragon. And I'm telling you, you get drunk enough, a snake will look like a dragon every day of the week, even on Tuesday.
Or an
some
iguana.
of those Eagle Scouts, they be on the magic stuff. Yeah, they say they see a lot of pixies and all kinds of weird crap. You know what I'm saying?
An iguana.
Damn Eagle Scouts.
Once again, South America, an iguana might look like a dragon to some.
Yeah.
Some iguanas get pretty big.
I did do another track thing and I passed. Do I find like actual tracks of?
Yep.
Okay, so can I confirm if it's 4 or 5?
4.
Yeah,
Cat
Doc. I found some track over here. Definitely a cat. Big one.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, all right. I think that their stories aren't far-fetched at all. I think that what we're dealing with is animals that have somehow been transported here.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Maybe someone's brought all these animals over here and released them in the park.
But to what? Unless there's some rich fool who has his own menagerie and he's had to get rid of it, and he just told his people, take him up into the mountains and let him go. And he had monkeys, and he had, Hearst or some crazy rich person. Damn it. They're always screwing up.
Tax evasion.
All right, let's go find this big snake.
Big snake.
Yep.
I think if we find a big snake, we should kill it.
Probably.
Okay.
Because we don't have the facilities to deal with that. So.
Yeah, I don't want to catch the snake.
Yeah, I think we should just kill it because it could hurt somebody. It could drown somebody.
I know I don't want to be in the dark up here with all these South American critters running around. There's no telling what'll happen. So let's try to get this wrapped up before the old sun goes down, eh?
Yeah.
Yep.
How are we doing for time, by the way?
I'm pushing you.
It's only been a couple of hours, probably, right?
Okay, so yeah, it's not like
still good. It's morning.
Yeah.
So just again to push, like I said, you're so you notice it definitely the pathway curves around and then heads again straight towards the reservoir area, or towards the direction of the reservoir, the mouth of the river at the reservoir of the apex. So you're heading in that general direction. And you do notice that someone has cut a new trail.
They said they were going to, didn't they?
Yeah. So they're cutting off. If you continue on to your right or towards the east, you will eventually head towards down the river where the snake or whatever it was seen. But this path that was cut is very recent, as you can tell by the greenery knocked over. The leaves are withered, but they're not dried up and gone. So this is definitely a new path that's been cut, and it heads off down towards the water. So you're in a fork in the road. You're at a fork in the road.
Now, does this new path match up with anything I'm seeing on the letter from Mr. Adams over to Clem?
Yes.
This path that's on the letter from Ansel Adams to Clem. If we want to go down there and see if maybe Clem's down there. I don't know exactly how far. I don't know if he drew it to scale here.
Yeah. But I know in Clem he wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? We could split up.
All right, let's split up.
What if me and Henry we go and see if we can find the snake, and you and Sheldon, you can head off and see if you can find Clem and Al and all them.
Never trust me when I go thumbs up to a split up. I'm always trying to split the party because that's what I do.
Well,
if we're going to split,
as long as we stick to the buddy system, I think we'll be fine.
And as long as one of those buddies is a ranger, so.
Plus, we got our handy dandy radios right here. Don,
oh yeah,
man.
I'm here. I'm here, Pauzek. Yeah.
Yep. You're loud and clear.
Pauzek, how you doing? Yeah, you good?
Over.
So, if you're going, are you going to split up?
Yeah. I look
Who's
over
going
at Sheldon and I say, education is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
It really is. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with Ranger Dunn.
Okay.
All right. What do you say, Carl? The path less traveled?
Let's take it down there and see if we can't find old Clem.
Yep.
All right. I'll start with you two then, Sheldon and Carl. The path's cut. It's a kind of rough path. These guys aren't really great at it. They're good guides, but take them off trail and they're just kind of sloppy. But you're able to go through the woods and the underbrush. It's not too bad. You go down the face of the escarpment down to the water, and I'm glad your eyes blinked because I thought I was locked out again there. And you got to the water, and you can see floating in the water is like a 1965 life jacket.
Huh.
Like sort of in an area that's like a where there's reeds and stuff that prevent it from flowing down river.
Kind of near the bank.
Near the bank, yes, definitely.
So would I be able to kind of snag it with my amazing walking stick? Because
It's exactly the right length. Yes, it's perfect.
awesome.
Yeah, it was a heck of a roll there, Sheldon, to get the perfect stick for this encounter right here. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's this stick is quite nice. I see what
It seems longer when you want it to be longer.
About a walking stick. I trust my life with this thing.
Well, let's scoop up that life jacket and see if there's a name in it or something.
Yep.
There's actually a C, the letter C.
That could
See
stand
for
for
Clem. Well, is it torn up at all, or?
No, it doesn't look like it was even done up.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Maybe he just used it to hold on to as he kicked his way across the river there. Who knows?
or used as a pillow.
That's 100% possible too.
Could you both make a spot hidden while you're at it?
It's going to be a success.
I got a 55 on 51. If his success will hold us, and if not, I'll use 4 luck.
What is it? It's just a normal.
That's okay. Good enough. In the reeds, farther to the, believe it or not, in the reservoir, a little bit farther, in the reeds, you see a canoe. On its side, maybe about 20 feet offshore, 30 feet offshore.
On our side, or?
On your side.
Side.
It's floated in nose first, so it looks like it may have come across with the prevailing winds and driven right into the reeds, and it's just stuck there.
Well, hey, Carl, look at this.
Holy cow, maybe the C stood for canoe.
It could have, Carl.
All right, let's take a look at this thing, eh?
Yeah.
20 feet out, though. I'm going to tell you right now, I spend a lot of time out here. I do a lot of tours. I guide a lot of people out here, but I got to level with you, Sheldon. I'm not the best of swimmers. So I'm afraid one of us is going to have to swim out there and get get the old canoe if it's 20 feet offshore there.
Well, how shallow is it?
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Oh, I thought I was muted.
Because if there's reeds poking up.
Yeah, waist high most.
Okay, yeah. I'll wait out and get it.
Easy enough.
This water's a bit cold.
It's cold. Yep. Yeah, you got the canoe. It's on its side. You just have to tip it up, drain it a bit, and flip it, and pull it to shore. And there's a paddle underneath it. So there's a paddle floating underneath it. And so you've got a paddle, a canoe, and one life jacket.
All right.
Now on the bottom,
anything else noteworthy on the canoe?
On the bottom of that canoe there, Sheldon, is there any marks where something may have bumped it or hit it or smacked it around or anything?
I don't know. Let's flip it back over.
Yeah, you flip it over and you don't see anything, just normal wear and tear.
She looks like a fine vessel.
Kind of weird to find it out just like this. You see anything else around here?
Hold on, I've somehow minimized everything. No, you don't see anything else. But I'm going to flip. I need you both to do a listen roll right now.
Okay. Oh, that is a fail and a half.
I got a 22 on 20. Can I spend 2 luck?
Yeah, you bet.
I listened to too much rock and roll during my undergrad years. I've still got tinnitus in my ears.
Oh, sorry. You spent 2 luck. I was for some reason I was waiting for the roll something else. Yes. You just make out from in the distance, in the silence of the day, someone yelling for help.
Can I tell which direction it's coming from here?
Across the water.
Sheldon, it's time for us to put on our capes, man. We're going to need to help someone. Now, you don't have to jump in and do it yourself because you're not wearing the vest. You're not wearing the badge, and you don't have the radio of a national park ranger. But I do, and I'm going to need to go and help these people. I can hear them in the distance calling for help.
Okay.
Now I'm just got to figure out how I'm going to do that and stay alive.
Where are we headed?
Over the air.
Across the water.
Across the reservoir.
Across the reservoir is where I'm hearing it from, and they're calling for help.
Well, we've got a pretty nice canoe here,
and 1 life jacket.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll leave you guys with that, and I'll flip over to Mr. Hodges and Dewey Dunn. So you guys have walked on to the east, and then cut down towards the escarpment to where the water, the river itself, the reservoir is narrowed out, and you're in the general vicinity, and you can see that there's a little boat launch area there, and you can see that there is a locked cabinet of sorts at the end of the boat launch area where somebody obviously stores some things like gas cans or something like that. It's empty right now. There is a boat, and it is a power boat, and you do know Ranger Carl knows that it is Max, the fishing guide's boat, and he's in the. You actually know Carl that he leaves the keys under the seat, so he's done this in the past. It's under the seat in a coffee can.
Sorry, Carl or me, Dewey?
Carl knows this.
Oh, shit.
Carl knows Mac. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, Dewey. I'm sorry, I forgot you were.
Okay.
Dewey knows this. Do you know that Mac, the fishing guide, leaves his keys in a coffee can under the seat, underneath some crushed up papers that are for starting fires. So you do have the ability to borrow this, and he's told you in the past, you ever need my boat, just put it back where you found it.
Yeah, so, let's head out then on the boat. Here's the thing. What we should have found out, though, is we should have found out exactly when they saw these things.
Oh, they told you. Sorry. It was earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean like an exact time.
Oh.
If it was earlier this week, then I expect to find a dead boa constrictor somewhere along the shore, because it's a cold-blooded animal. It could not have survived in this water. It's just no.
Or well, there's one way to find out, So do you want to take the boat out?
Yeah, we might as well. Let's go along the shore and see if we can see anything.
Okay, we'll jump on in. I'll start her up.
All right, easy enough. It starts up, and you're.
We're heading east.
Which way are you going? Are you going like across?
Let's go east.
Yeah, we'll go east.
All right. You go east as far as the next tributary that comes in from the north, and so you're now beyond the point for sure where they saw this thing.
Okay. I'm watching the shoreline to see if I see anything floating.
Yep. Make a spot hidden.
Like a bloated snake.
All right. That is a fail for me.
I would have to spend 7 points of luck. I think I'll do it anyway. 1, 2, 6, 7. My luck is slowly running out.
I was going to say, you're running out of luck.
Yep, you're using a lot of luck. Okay. Dewey, you look and you see just the stuff you see all the time when you're out on the boat. You see like a log, and you just look and you go, "Nah, someone should push that back up on shore." And Mr. Hodges says, "That's not a log." And lo and behold, exactly.
That's not a log.
Over on the shore, the far side of the shore, there is 100% a long, looks like a dark greenish kind of mottled log, dead snake. Big dead snake.
Look at there. Yep. Top of it. Here we go.
So I maneuver the boat over kind of closer to it so we can get a better look.
It's definitely dead. It's got some chunks taken out of it. Some birds have been picking at it. Something with a mouth about that big, so could be a bear, could be anything else. It's taken some bites out of it. Things have been nibbling at it, and it smells kind of
bad,
strong because it's been a few days. But yes, absolutely, it did not survive being in the water, and the nights are still cold right now. Too cool for it.
So python or anaconda?
Python.
Do I have a guess? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a tropical python.
Yep.
Probably had some half-naked woman who had this thing draped on her, and she did the snake dance for some zoo or some.
Yep. Third act after 10 o'clock.
Show.
It's really starting to sound like maybe there's some kind of circus or something going on. Yeah.
Now, while you're looking at it, Dewey, the doctors or the biologist is looking at it, do another spot hidden. Just could be anything.
I got a pass, like literally on my spot hidden. 31.
You look down the way and you can see a canoe crossing the reservoir.
Hey,
that's it.
Hey, look, I could see there's a canoe down there crossing over. That could be the boys.
Maybe. Let's go.
Hey, Ranger Carl, this is Ranger Dewey here. You guys wouldn't happen to be in a canoe up there, would you? Over.
Pretty far away, aren't you?
It's like 1965 beatboxing.
It's Carl. Okay. It's okay. I speak static.
Carl, why are you making those funny noises?
Oh, just screw with old Dunn up there. You don't even know, He thinks that the radios are crap. But they're not. They work fine. Are we in the canoe?
You're in the canoe.
Yeah. Yes, Carl, we're in the canoe.
Let's
Got a ranger done. This here's a ranger post check. We're in the canoe. Over.
let's go
Okay,
find them.
check. We're gonna come up the river there in the old in Max's in Max's boat. We'll be right with you. We found a snake. It's dead.
It's
Over.
Yep. We actually on our way across the reservoir here. I heard someone yelling for help. So if you could give that thing a little bit of a throttle, it'd be great. So get on down here.
Yeah,
Give us a hand there, done. Over.
Oh, we putting the capes on, are we? Over.
That's why we do it. We wear the capes. Over.
On our way. Be with you as soon as possible. Over.
All right, let's get there.
I'll push you along. You guys, okay, so you travel down, back up river. You get to where the canoe is landing. You get there approximately the same time. We'll just say for ease of whatever. And, yeah, when you land, you actually, when the engine's turned off, you can hear someone yelling for help again. You up a pathway. You can see that the path has been up the side of the hill a bit, and you go up to a level flat area. In that flat area, you see the ground is collapsed. There's a hole in the actual pathway on the side of the escarpment.
Oh, wow.
It's just stone here, and it's a hole maybe about 10 foot by 13 foot rather. And the voice is actually yelling for help coming out of it. And it's a man with a Californian accent, so it doesn't sound all that odd to you.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand it. Is they said there's a hole?
There's been a trail that goes up the hill, and it cuts to the left, and someone's gone out onto like a rock face.
Okay.
Along the trail, and it has collapsed underneath them.
It collapsed underneath them, and so now there's a pit?
Like a sinkhole, like a pit, yes.
Okay. It's turned into a rescue operation. Is that Clem or is that Mr. Adams?
Yes, it's Mr. Adams. Ansel, good enough. Could you get me out of here? I'm okay, but I can't get out.
Mr. Adams, Ranger Dewey Dunn here. Just wondering, do you know where Clem and Marv are? Are they with you? Are they safe? Is anyone hurt?
They're not down here with me. They took off after that stupid cat. I haven't seen hide nor hair of them since, and when I was waiting for them, this stupid rock face collapsed, and I'm stuck in here. Get me out, please.
Are you injured?
I'm fine. I just can't get out.
All right, let's.
Mr. Adams, we'll do everything we can to help you, but you got to remember, it's going to be a little hairy. This rescue is not going to be just black and white, you know.
How far down is he?
He's down about 15 feet. He's not 20 years old. He just can't climb out. That's all there is to it.
Why don't one of you guys hold on to me and I'll lean over and help pull him out.
Okay. Here, would we have rope with us?
No, that's what I'm saying. You guys hold on to me and I'll just sort of.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. Yeah. Okay, sure.
All right, just make a dexterity roll, just so you don't drop Henry Hodges' head.
I got a 39 out of 50. So.
All right, you got a 69 there, which is that is a pass.
30. Yep, 38 out of 50.
Easy enough. He grabs your hands, you pull him out, and he says, wait. He reaches down, he grabs his camera on a tripod. So, of course, he's making it even more difficult to get him out. He hands that up first.
All right.
He puts that aside. He hands his backpack up, and he says, all my negatives are in there. Don't drop it. And he climbs out. And he's got the beard, and he looks rough and disheveled and dirty. And he says, I just ran out of food yesterday. You guys, he's grumbling, he needs water and food. But he explains that Clem and Marv and him were heading across. They got across the water, and that cat was stalking them the moment they got across the water.
Black cat.
This big black cat. He says, I've seen them before at the zoos and down south. And when I was on my travels to South America, he says, well, I don't know how the hell it got here. Some zoo must have let it free. But he says, I had just finished taking photos of the strangest thing. And this cat appeared out of nowhere and started, it's like it wanted Clem. And it was just, so they took off after it with their rifles. And I swear it was cat and mouse game is a thing I'd put it. But either way, there was a lot of yelling, and they went off into the woods, and I haven't seen anything from them since. And it's been a full day and a half.
Did you hear any gunshots going off?
I did. But that was a while ago. Day and a half. I've been stuck here.
Well,
What were you
out of here?
What were you taking a photo of, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, more importantly, this is something you people have never seen before. Come with me. And he takes you up the hike, the trail. And he's tired. He needs a little bit of help because he's not 25. Goes up the escarpment quite a ways. And you see an area of a flat rock where he's cleared some rocks, and you can see where he's had set up some equipment past. And he puts his equipment down. He says, stand right here and look across the reservoir, and he points towards a fairly, like there's an overhang of rock, and there's trees. He says, what do you see?
Here's standard rock with an overhang of trees.
Rock and trees, right? And he says, have you got binoculars with you or anything like that?
Well, I got my scope on my rifle here.
Okay. Well, he says, well, someone give me their shoulder. And he puts puts the rifle on the shoulder, and he says, now look in the same area, and what do you see? And you look through.
What do you see, Tony?
Everybody takes. Well, whoever wants to take a look. You see the same thing, except up close. And then he says, move over there. And he points to a spot where you can see that there's more clearing where he's done some work. You move over there, but he says, you move over there. You don't see anything. Same situation. Move back to where you were, and he says, now, while you're looking, he says, look through the scope, but walk slowly over. And as you look, whoever's looking through the scope, I'll say it's Dewey. You're looking through the scope. As you move, as the person the scope is rested on moves sideways, there's a bit of a shimmer. And underneath the rock overhang, for the briefest of moments, you see a house, a cottage. And then
well, hang on. Can I do the same movement again? Like I go back and do the same.
It's a very slim little frame of point of space. There's a cottage. It disappears and it reappears. And then it disappears.
So when I repeat the action, it happens again?
Yes. He says, explain that to me.
Carl, you got to see this here. So I switch places with Carl, and I be the base for him to move on.
What are you seeing?
There's a house out there. But
it's an old cottage, like an old cabin of sorts. Decrepit, falling down, like moss on the roof, vines growing up the sides of it. But anybody who wants to look, you move to a certain point, you can see it. You move like just a fraction of a foot farther, it disappears.
So can we actually get to the point where we can actually just see it? And we're not
Yes. Yes. You have to stay perfectly still.
Well, is it an optical illusion?
It's some kind of optical illusion. He says, I've seen tricks of the light done with this in like shows, movie. He says, I was about to tell the guys to go over, and we had to go over and see this for sure. And that's when that cat arrived. So I want to go see this. The hell with those two idiots. The worst guides I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like an optical illusion. What do you think? What do you think, Sheldon? It looks like a house.
Thinking I probably should have paid more attention in my physics classes. Because I'm not sure what I'm looking at. That's weird.
Hey, yeah, Carl, what do you...
I've walked these trails for years here, and I've never come across a cabin or run down ruins like that before. I'd be interested to walk right up to them, but to be honest with you, I'm afraid it may not be there when we get to wherever we're seeing it here.
Well, let's head in that direction. I mean, we can always find Clem.
Yeah.
He's got to be someplace out here.
Actually, Clem is a park ranger, right?
No, he's a guide.
Okay, I was going to say I couldn't get him on the radio.
They're private guides. Yeah, they're just guides. Now, one thing the Rangers, both is many years ago, before the war, there were some locations in the park where there were some very wealthy people had arranged to have some private cabins.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the park service that there's certain deals that were cut to have these cabins in place, that they had to provide a certain amount of money. They could certain purposes, but they've all been removed from existence if they haven't been given to the park. This is one you're not aware of. So the reservoir is a fairly well-traveled area, so it's very strange.
How many?
It is in the woods quite a bit. It's off the shore a ways, but you can readily pick out where it is because of the overhang. And I'll just to push you along. You guys go down. You get into your boats. You go across. You get to the shore, generally across from where it is. And once you get to the shore, you try to replicate it, and you do actually find there's another spot. And once you find this path, this trail that lines up with a rock, that lines up with another rock, you can see the cabin again. And you're much closer. You're like 300 meters or 300 yards away. And the path goes straight to it.
So can we try walking, straight to it without losing sight of it?
Yep. Now that you see it, you can't unsee it. So you're able to walk to it.
Okay.
But it does seem to not, it's almost like when I'm watching a show on television. That's the one thing that comes to your mind is it's there, but it doesn't quite look like it's there. It's like it sort of moves a bit. It's very strange, but you can go to it.
Like a mirage?
It shimmers a little bit, not unlike a mirage, but it's almost like watching something on TV versus seeing it for real.
Okay.
And you all approach him. Mr. Adams is like, this is fascinating. He says, I want some photos of this. So he's trying to set up his camera and tripod down below at the shore to take pictures of it as you're walking up to it. And he says, you proceed. I'm too old for this kind of stuff. Go check that out for me.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Well, if something happens,
I've got my rifle, actually ready to,
Do you want one of us to stay with you?
No, I've been in these woods forever. I'm good. If I have any problems, I'll hop in the boat and take off.
Why don't you give Mr. Adams one of the radios?
Yeah, sure. Let us know if you see anything, like the cat. If the cat shows up again.
And also, Mr. Adams, if something happens to us, if you follow this trail here going up the hill, you will come down near Wolf Lodge.
Excellent.
Tell them where we are.
I will, for sure. Definitely do that.
Right,
So
I'm turning my radio over to you there, Mr. Adams. I ask that you please use it responsibly. There's a lot of responsibility being handed to a civilian here. No offense. I hope you didn't take any. Ranger Dunn there, he's on the other end. Anything happens.
Thank you very much.
You're going to push this button right here on the side.
I will. I thank you very much for your trust. I will make sure to make only good use of this.
Mr. Ansel Adams, this is Ranger Dewey Dunn here, just doing a test, making sure this is coming through loud and clear. Over.
You're right in front of.
Push the button on the side there, Mr. Ed. Just push. No, you got to push and then talk.
I hear you fine. You're right in front of me.
How'd that come through
for a minute. Over. Yeah, loud and clear. She's working well. Yeah.
The damn fine radio.
Can we get back to the mystery at hand?
All right. So you go up, and as you approach the house, the closer you get to the cottage, you see it's very old, moss-eaten, and the closer you get, the more real it looks, and the front door is wide open. And you walk to the front door, and I'm not taking you any further until you do what you do. But when you get close to the front door, there's air coming through the front door. It smells moist and warm and earthy.
So now when we're this close to the house, You're saying what? Literally just a few feet away.
Sure.
If we turn back around and look at Mr. Adams, do we see him standing there, or is something blocking our view? If we
I'm assuming you're not on the front steps or in the doorway yet.
right.
When you turn around as you approach, you can see him just fine.
Okay.
Is the building still shimmering? And if is it still
Slightly?
Yeah.
It's less as you approach, less and less. It looks more and more substantial.
Well,
Can I stick my hand through the door? Just my hand.
Yes,
you're gonna go up on the porch.
you have to go up on the porch to do that. But
All right. Well, let's go up on the porch and see if anybody's.
Yeah.
yeah, you get up on the porch and you look back at Mr. Adams because that was your question. And yes, he does. You can still see him, but it's like you're inside a television set. This kind of funny, kind of slight shimmer, and there's a hum, a very, very light hum, like the sound of like turning on a television,
okay?
like an old-fashioned television
Some
before
sort of machine.
most of you were born.
So let's.
I don't hear this because I've got tinnitus.
Oh, that's right. from going to all those Kinks concerts or whatever you were at in 1965.
So yeah, let's walk through the door. Is it a cabin on the inside?
It is a cabin. It is a one-room open cabin where there is like a kitchen area and a dining room area and a sitting area, but everything's kind of mossy or eaten or rotten. The one thing you notice immediately is the very back wall is stones because there has been a landslide which has crushed the back of the building.
Well,
And that's where the breeze is coming from, this breeze that smells earthy.
where is the air coming from? I'm trying to feel it, feel it on the air and see where it's coming from.
Definitely.
Angela Adams, this is Ranger Dunn. Do you copy? Over.
Yeah, yes, Ranger Dewey. Yes. Yes, Ranger Dunn, yes.
Okay, yeah, you can call me Dewey. That's fine. Yeah, we'll just check. We're in the cabin now. Just a one-bedroom little cabin here. Looks like there's been a bit of a landslide down the back here. It's kind of all a bit weird up here. So just making sure the radio waves were coming through okay there. Over.
It's a little staticky, but it is coming through. Yes, it's fine. Thank you.
Okay, hold your position. Over.
So as I approach the stone wall, is the air coming through like the cracks between the stones?
Yes. This is very large stones have come down and crushed the rear, like say 3 or 4 feet of the building. So the roof, and it's collapsed. And they're in between the stones. You can feel air coming through. You can smell this earthy smell.
I'm wondering if there's a cave or something on the other side that.
Could you do a listen, please, since you're the one closest?
There must be a cave or something.
Where's my listen? I got 25 out of 20. So do I want to spend more luck?
Got any luck left?
I actually do. I'm going to go ahead and spend it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
All right. Listening, you can hear in the distance from somewhere inside these rocks the sounds that you've heard before at the San Diego Zoo in the jungle area. Jungle birds.
I can hear the jungle.
And
What?
now that you're in it, it smells like the reptile house at the zoo. It has that smell.
Hey, kind of a funky smell up there, huh?
What in God's name?
What did you say, Henry?
It smells and sounds like a jungle.
Huh.
And I start walking around to see if there's a way through.
You can't yourself get through, but you can see there are. I'm assuming you have flashlights. Somebody has a flashlight.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all have flashlights. You can see that the rocks are large rocks. This isn't like a landslide of gravel. This is
Right.
like chunky rocks.
Big
You
rock.
can't fit through, but in between the rocks, you can shine through, and you can see that it continues on. And if you crane your neck and you twist and turn and you try to, you can see light coming from somewhere in the distance, and that's all you can really make out. But you can't fit through any of these crevices or holes or cracks, and you can't move the rocks.
I think I need to do a sanity roll. I passed. This is some science fiction-y shit going on here.
Ranger Carl, could you do a spot hidden? Because where they're all crammed up to the wall and looking, and Ranger Dunn is talking on the radio, you're poking around.
What I just rolled there was a 97. A 97.
You're fixated on a calendar on the wall. You go, wow, 1935. That's all.
That's the old calendar.
That's a.
She's a nice-looking lady.
That Martha Ray? Oh, wait, I think she's.
Guys, this doesn't make any sense.
I'm with you there, Henry.
Can I have a poke around the cabin?
Yeah, sure. Go forward. Everybody can.
If I say it out loud, I'm going to freak out. It's this side of the cabin is in Yosemite, and that side is
standard pass.
Pardon me? It was a pass?
Standard pass. Yeah.
Standard pass. Okay, you find two things. You find a trap door on the floor with a ring under a rug. No, there's no rug. It's just an old beat up with the remains of a door. It's really just a ring on a piece of wood. It's all crumbled and messed up now. And you also find there's a desk that has a key in the desk drawer. But you can't try to turn it; it won't turn.
Hey, Carl. Hey, they got a key over here in this desk here. But also there's Mr. Hodgers, Robertson. You got a trap door down here. Maybe there's a way through that way. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Henry, you'll see that this isn't science fiction. It's got to be some like water dripping and then being distorted by the rocks that you're hearing.
But if there was some magical portal to the jungle from here, it would explain where all of the animals are coming from.
That's a good point. Yeah, I love a good bit of science fiction. Me.
Is this crushed rock? Is this rock that's come down? Is this the escarpment that Ansel was standing on?
No, you're across on the other side. No, this is what he was looking at from across.
Okay.
It's the rock overhang above the house cottage.
All right. So it doesn't look like it recently fell
down. Yes, it does.
Okay. So the wood where it's hit is splintered and looks fresh.
Yes, this is recent.
It's recent.
Very recent.
Let's look at the trap door, you say?
Yep, let's look at it.
Hold on, folks. Before we go poking around on a trap door, let's take a little thought if we were the animals. Now, from all my years of experience walking through the woods, I may have got a little bit connected to them. So let's walk down that path there. And let me guide you. Now, if I'm a forest or jungle-dwelling creature and I came through a portal and out into some chilly weather, when the time came and the sun started getting low over the Sierra Mountains here, and I started getting a bit of a chill, I think I'm going to go right back to where I was warm. What I'm saying here, let me just spell it right on out. There's probably going to be a herd of crazy critters coming right through that door before too long once it starts chilling down outside. So do we want to be standing in here when that comes through? I'm going to take a vote from my camp, and I say no.
Yeah, I'm in Cause camp, yeah.
Well, there's two. But we still need to figure out what the heck's going on here. Now, I'm wondering if some of these rich folks, because they were up here, if they didn't try to make them a one-way or two-way trip to somewhere nice and warm. Because old bones. Trust me. I know about old bones. But they get a little creaky when the temps go down. And I think nothing nicer than to be able to just open your back door and step into a tropical paradise. But that's just
Yeah.
old Carl throwing out the crazy talk, you know?
Well, Carl, I think that
Emphasis on crazy.
it's most likely that if these animals came through some magical portal from tropical jungle into our world, that they've gotten completely lost. And they're not going to be able to find their way back here. They don't know this environment at all.
Well, also looks like maybe whatever's past this, maybe the portal is behind this rock fall, which has just happened. So they can't get back.
Well, let's see if we can find some answers.
Yep.
Before we go, let's see what's in the basement. Do you guys hear the hum? There's a noise.
Did you say the key wouldn't unlock the disc as well?
There's a desk. There's a lock. If the desk is falling apart, you really just have to rip off the door. And I'll assume you do that for time purposes.
Yeah.
Inside that door, there is a journal.
Okay.
A diary, two different things. And there's a set of plans, some kind of blueprints. As well, there is a series of letters that are stamped with who's the oldest person in the game? Who's the character, probably?
I think that might be me at a whopping 45 years of age.
Yeah.
Oh, ancient.
No, I'm 45 too.
All right.
Okay.
Do the math. And yeah, you look at this, and you've seen this in movies. German High Command stamp at the top of these letters. And these documents, the journal, the diary, written in German.
I got a pretty good idea, but I don't know if I got it. I don't know if I got all the pieces to put this puzzle together.
I don't speak German, but I'm pretty sure Bundeswehr isn't supposed to show up in this country.
I could speak a little French. If that helps.
That helps if you want to surrender. So,
Well, unfortunately, German's not a Latin language, so I don't have a clue.
all right. So you unroll the plans, and all you can tell from the plans is, because any of you, the two biologists, of course, having taken some non-biology type courses, you'll see that these are electrical plans, and there are strange writings on these plans as well that is not in any language you've seen, as well as German, as standard mathematical symbols, other symbols as well. And you see a design of the house, and underneath the house there is a basement. It's easy enough to find out. And there are electrical wiring coming up from the basement to a device in the basement, that standard electronic symbols. You can read the word in German, generator, because it's the same as in English. And there's also something that goes out. It looks like a source of power is being brought in. It's really difficult because it's electrical drawings, but something is in the basement, connected to something in the house, connected to something underground. That's all you know.
This is insane. This is science fiction. This is some German plot to invade the United States from the inside. Let's go down. Let's go see. Let's go see what's down there. Do you guys hear the humming?
Oh, it's all over. You can't not hear the hum. Everyone hears the hum.
Yes.
I've got the key in my pocket, by the way, the one I found in the desk.
Well, let's open up this.
Hear it, but I feel it. Oh my God!
You go to pull up the ring. The ring comes right off in your hand, but the floorboards easily lift up, and there's a ladder going down into the ground, and there's a crawl space basement, and there's a doorway, and the hum is louder as you approach the doorway. But you do notice there's wires coming through a hole above the doorway, and they go up into somewhere in the house where you just were.
Okay.
All right.
But you said there's a doorway down here?
There's a doorway, yes.
I speak to the keymaster and say,
I am the gatekeeper.
yeah, see what's behind the door.
The door, actually, it isn't locked. I mean, the key that Dewey found was the key to the filing cabinet or the desk drawer.
All right.
Okay.
You
I'm
can
going to open the door and look in.
Inside the door, you see a generator. an old-fashioned diesel, not a diesel generator. It's a generator, but there's no smell of fuel or anything like that. There's a smell of oil. It's humming, it's glowing, it's sparking a little bit. And you see off the wire, there's something going into another tunnel that goes down into another sub-basement or something down there. Something is going up to this generator. Like these are not wires. This is like I guess you'd call it like a shaft. However, the one thing you note is the wiring. There's all kinds of wiring going up into the house through different conduits and such, and some wiring going down and along with this conduit into the ground to another sub-basement. There is, and this, everybody has to make a sanity roll for this. There's a guy lying on the floor, and he is dressed in old-fashioned clothes, and he is tangled up in some wiring. It's like there's a ladder on the ground beside him that's fallen over. He's wrapped up in wiring, and he's glowing blue.
Is he alive? Or rotting?
No, he's not rotting. He is in perfect condition, but he is phasing in and out of like the television.
I failed my sanity check on that.
I failed.
I succeeded.
I failed.
Yes.
I failed it.
Oh boy. All right. Well, everybody who failed, how badly did you fail?
I got an 82 out of 55.
I got an 85 out of 65.
I got a 77 out of 50.
About the same.
I've got a 54 out of 60. So.
All right.
It's our anchor.
Well, let's say...
Again, I'm the most sane member of the party.
For interest's sake, those of you who failed, you all took sanity loss. Who failed the worst? That would be Henry Hodges.
Did I?
I think I did. I got 82 out of 55.
Oh yes. Well, Dewey, you're back up the ladder. You're just right back out of there, I would say.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
27. You failed by 20 points, same as me. 27-point fail.
Okay, so me and Raging Car, we're out of here.
20-point fail.
Okay, you guys are like, what the hell? And you're like fighting over the ladder to get out. Sheldon, make an idea roll. Or not, sorry, a spot hit, not idea roll.
Oh, okay. That's a 9.
On the wall.
I can see everything.
On the wall, there is a rubber-coated switch. Like a power switch. Right beside the generator. It is, you go, that's an on-off switch.
Okay. Is it obviously in like the contact within contact position?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
And there's even a handy hole through it that would fit like a wooden thing, like a walking stick or something.
Oh.
If you were worried about, electricity.
Right. Hey, Henry.
Yeah.
You're fighting out there, going up the stairs, remember. You're sort of on your own.
Oh. Like, I call over my shoulder, hey, Henry.
What?
Nothing. Oh. Should I flick the switch on this madness?
Yeah, do one toggle on, then the toggle off, then the toggle on and off and on. Yeah. Turn it off, turn it off.
I heard turn it off. Okay, yeah. I'll walk up and use my incredible, amazing, fantastic, magical even walking stick.
Your walking stick of many things.
Yes.
You pull the power down, the generator goes, and you hear this something down the basement, the sub-basement, whatever it is. You hear the sloshing of water stop. So your educated brain says it's probably some kind of underground river and a hydroelectric kind of situation. Yeah. The power drops off, and the guy on the floor goes, "Duh!" And he sits up and panics and breathes, and he looks at you and goes, Wer bist du? Wer bist du?
Want some beef stew?
Sie sind hier, mein Arbeit zu zerstören. He starts shuffling back towards the wall.
Nine. English.
Speaking of
Sie müssen sterben.
Ooh, that sounded like stabbing. He's
Here, we're upstairs.
Halt dich von meinem Generator fern.
No comprende, senor.
He pulls from behind his back a Luger pistol and just sort of shakily starts pointing it at you.
I raise my hands.
You drop your walking stick first?
Oh, no, I'm holding on to that.
Okay.
Of course. So I've got my walking stick in my right hand. I'm just kind of raising it up. It's like, calm. I'm not going to hurt you. Put the gun down.
He's trying to get up and he's pointing it at you all the time. Sie müssen sterben. Shoots, but he misses.
All right. When he shoots,
yep,
I'm going to throw the stick at him and pull out a bear spray.
Easy enough. You throw the stick at him. He's off balance already.
And I'm going to bear spray him.
What would you roll for that? Okay.
I don't know. It's pistol sized ish.
Sure, sounds good.
All right. That's a 13. I know it's a success.
All right. He goes, ah, and he screams. And
oh, that's a hard success.
Oh, well, he's just woken up. He hasn't eaten anything in 30 years. So I
just maced a Nazi.
He just maced a Nazi. He's screaming and he's grabbing his face and he's swearing in German and he's dropped his pistol.
So chemical mace was invented. So it would be a pretty recent invention.
Yeah.
So this guy's gonna have no idea.
He has no idea. Well, they did use chemical weapons in World War II.
Oh yeah, mustard gas.
Mustard gas, but not this. Yeah. So he's dropping to his knees and the generator's now smoldering and smoking and sparking.
Yep.
And the one thing you note immediately is, excuse me, I've got a cough here. As he drops to the floor, the generator is now catching on fire. The house is completely like normal again. There's none of this television kind of weird stuff. He's completely normal, except he's getting really old really fast.
Huh. Hey, I need some help down here. We're
long gone, dude.
Henry?
We're upstairs doing this.
Carl? Dewey?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. We've got an injured guy down here.
Well,
the
as you're
glowing man?
following and watching, he's getting older and older, and he's falling to the ground, and before your eyes, he dies. He just melts into a puddle of goo and bones, and he's gone.
That's a sanity check.
What?
Yep.
The hell?
Now you have to do a sanity check, yes, again.
That's a 93.
All right. I'll just.
What's the damage?
Well, does it really matter? You take about a 6, a 5. You've seen a guy melt. You've seen a shimmering house and the television people. It's all over the place. But let's just we'll say that's it. You guys have all run outside now, collected your thoughts. The generator bursts into flames. The building catches on fire. It burns to the ground. You've destroyed the building, and Ansel Adams got it all on film.
And did I grab the blueprints?
I would say yes, you did. and the journal. I mean, you probably pocketed the journal in the diary already.
Because like our next project is to build one of these things so that we can go exploring.
Yeah. So that's it. And that's your next project is going to be rounding up all the animals that didn't get shot by Clem and Marv.
They'll die.
They will die eventually. Okay, so that's you guys have survived. Would you like to know what you find out when you read the journals?
Yeah. Tell us what was going on.
First, I'd like to get the radio back from civilian Ansel Adams.
He's been watching me with rapt excitement here. Franz Gruber was a wealthy mechanical and electrical engineer. His father was a steel wealthy steel magnate back in the 1920s and 30s. When the Nazis came to power in Germany, Franz moved back home to his family's city or town, rather, Berlin most likely. And he was unhappy as a student at Miskatonic U, where he had taken mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. He had dabbled in the occult. He wasn't a great student, though. So he signed on with the SS on the behalf of Hitler to try to find all these occult artifacts because they really wanted to find something to help them with the war effort. He traveled the world with some of these groups, and he succeeded partially. He found a book of something magic, something connected to the old elder gods, whatever you will. But because he was such a poor student, he misinterpreted them. What he thought he was getting was something that would help make ships, aircraft disappear. But what it really was, he was providing an escape route, not to be invisible, but to no longer be present or seen. So he went back to the United States not knowing this. He used his father's cottage and tried to replicate this magic combined with modern technology. And in the end, he got tangled up in the wiring, and he was trapped in this house that was perpetually in between two locations. And frankly, when the rock wall collapsed and crushed the back of the building, it reopened the portal between dimensions and unsealed the house that had been sort of vanished from actual reality, allowing the animals to pass through. It only happened the last week or so. So for all this time, the house has been invisible for the most part, in between locations, and safe as a portal, sealed up. But this rock wall broke it apart, and the animals got loose. And now there's a few at least looking around.
Cool. Great story.
So, I think if you are you going to write a sequel for this one? Do you think?
I could have probably made this into a two-parter or more. I really crammed a lot into this, but actually, there could be one, couldn't there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, because me and John here were saying I think there should definitely be a return of Ranger Carl Buzzcheck and Ranger Dewey Dunn.
Well, you guys survived without much trouble, so you didn't go insane or anything.
No, we gotta. We'll be back.
Sometimes the best thing you can do is just get the heck out of somewhere when you see the blue guy wrapped up in the wires, eh?
Yeah.
Henry and I should have been rolling sanity every time the Rangers talked.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ. Our players included John Byram, Zane Fleming, Brian Daly, and myself, with Sean Little as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 5 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to support our show, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.